Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Now here's a man who's so flat out in his new job in Parliament, of course. It's Kris Faafoi, Labour Mana MP, Minister of Consumer Affairs, Minister of Civil Defence and Associate Minister of Immigration. I don't know whether he's got any more stripes on his shoulders, or we better ask him. Good morning, Kris.
Good morning, Nigel. How are you?
I'm well. I'm surprised to even hear from you because I appreciate how busy you are. You know, with civil defence emergencies, and you've had to dash off here and dash off there. How's that going, Kris, the civil defence?
Oh, look, unfortunately it's been relatively regular. As I say to mayors of places where we have to visit, you're kind of the minister that no one wants to see, but it's nice to be able to go to places the likes of Gisborne recently. There have been obviously events just to check up on how the civil defence crews are doing there, and they've done a wonderful job in the Gisborne area after those big Queen's birthday floods, and then a week later. But also to assess some of the damage that has been done. These things are, I think, the perception is they're happening more regularly, but I think given some of the extremes of the weather that we've had recently, I think that being able to prepare and deal with them has been a little bit more challenging, especially when it seems like they're happening with regularity as well.
Have you got a bottomless pit of money to help out in emergencies like this, or have you got to stick to a budget of some type?
It depends. There is the ability for legislation for central government to help local bodies pay for some infrastructure damage if that happens in an emergency after a state of emergency.
We're just losing you there, Kris. Wait on. We're just losing you.
It might have been a bus that just went past. Sorry, no.
Oh, right, okay.
We do have the ability to reimburse councils to fix critical infrastructure. So essentially there we're committed to making sure we can help councils. But there are little things that we can do, the likes of meal relief funds that can help welfare in the immediately after or during an event. So there is ability to help, but it's not bottomless. But there are times when councils need help to fix, especially things like underground pipes after they've been through a bit of damage, especially in earthquakes. We're about to deal with some of that in Kaikoura as well.
I see insurance companies are going to racket up their fees, but I suppose they're getting to the point where, hey, to be viable, they've got to do it. And it must be hard for people to actually insure their homes. There'll be a lot of people saying, oh, well, I'll risk it sort of thing. Is that what you're finding?
Yeah, two or three things there. I think after Christchurch, I think the insurance landscape changed for a lot of New Zealanders. I think, insurance companies looked at their exposure to risk and started reassessing depending on where people are. I think that's where the new change is, where insurance companies can be a lot more precise about assessing risk, if it's for someone's home in a particular area, if it's prone to flooding or close to a fault line, they're now being able to judge house by house what they think the risk is, and then obviously that flows onto a premium. What I don't want to see though is, those insurance premiums going up and places where you think there'll be less risk, those premiums staying the same, because the only winner there is the insurance company. I think if people have got a low risk area, that they, just like those who might be in a high risk area, need to have their premiums reassessed, and if it should head south, then that's what should happen.
Yeah, fair enough too. Now, I got a notice in the mail the other day to go and get my car airbags checked. How are we going with that one, Kris?
Pretty good. It's still very early days in terms of the recall, which started in May. One thing which is unfortunate, which is when we first got advice, we were told there were about 50,000 of these Alpha type airbag cars in the country. We now know it's probably about double that. What is happening is about 50,000 of the 103,000 airbags which are part of the compulsory recall have been fixed, so we've still got another 50,000 to do. We're pretty confident, talking to the industry, that they can get those airbags fixed before December 2019. But the big problem which is now fixed is that while this recall was in, we were still allowing imports to come in from overseas with these faulty airbags. So now that this recall notice, this compulsory recall notice has been put into place, no Alpha airbag cars are able to get into the country, which means the problem isn't getting any worse.
All right. So they replace them before they come here, in other words?
Yeah, so if anyone wants to import a car with a faulty airbag, they won't be able to get it onto the ship either in Japan or I think it's Singapore where the bulk of our cars come from.
Right. Do I have to pay for the replacements, Kris, or is that not necessary?
No, you don't.
Oh, right, okay.
That is being met by the manufacturer.
Yep.
So that's where I'd like to thank the industries, the Motor Industry Association, which is the new car dealers, and Vehicle Importers Association, which is obviously second-hand dealers, are working together to make sure that A, the work can get done, and B, that consumers won't have to pay. So it's not our fault that the airbags are faulty. It's a manufacturing problem at Takata, the Japanese airbag manufacturer. So that has been covered by the industry itself.
Okay. Now, talking a bit of a local stuff in Porirua, you were going to put apartments up in the middle of the town, the shopping area there, weren't you, at one stage?
Yeah, that was part of the plan that the City Council had, and I still think it's part of the plan. The old post office building, which is smack in the middle of the Porirua CBD, is being bought by the City Council about 2 years ago, earmarked for, I think, predominantly student accommodation and some apartments, but they're certainly wanting to revitalise the city centre, and there is some land in there that is going to hopefully be used for residential housing, but anyone who knows the area in and around the central city will know that there's been a lot of grounds in the old Kenapuna Hospital grounds which are now being redeveloped for a housing development which should start building the first houses very soon.
All right, okay. And I see where the Minister of Transport is giving a little bit more money for better access to the new transmission gully to help you in and out of Porirua, more access roads, is that right?
Yeah, look, obviously there's access road planned for Whitby and for Porirua East at this stage. I think there's obviously a story floating around saying about the potential tolling of transmission gully. I don't think that final decision has been made yet, not that I'm aware of. But we toured the works, the transmission gully project, probably about 6 weeks ago, and good progress has been made. It's always a bit of a test for them during the winter months to be able to get as much as they want done, but at this stage they're still planning for I think it's mid to kind of three-quarter point of 2020 for the completion of that project, and from our end it looks very pretty good.
Yes, well, I just found a note through this morning saying they're 50% completed and just ahead of schedule, so as you say, depends on winter. Now, Labor are dead against tolling that particular road, and I always said it will always be tolled. Looks like it might be tolled.
Yeah, I think we're going to look at the options there. For a couple of reasons. A, it's obviously a public-private partnership, and any way that we can make it wash its own face and get it back into the hands of the public would be good. But I think also NZTA has given us, or given the government or the minister, some advice about making sure that we kind of have some controls about how much it is used. Obviously, a toll is one of those ways, and as I say, I don't think a final decision has been made on that, but I think we're going to make sure that we manage the different types of modes of transport we might want to be flying in and around the roads in the area with a new motorway coming on board. I think it's an exciting project, but I also think we're going to make sure that we do manage in terms of what modes of transport people use and which routes they use as well.
Now, our Kapiti Coast Airport looks like it's going to be open very shortly, but is the government going to help a little bit of money out of that regional development funds that Mr Shane Jones has got?
All I'm going to say on that, Nigel, is you'll hear something soon.
Right. Well, we'll leave it at that then. I just heard a rumour that there might be a little bit of money coming in, because it's a fair bit to run that Airways Corporation business, about $580,000, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is. That was certainly one of the challenges that when we've been speaking to Air Chathams. I've got to get back to both Guru and Wayne Maxwell this week, but as I say, I think they've probably got an announcement imminent, given the decisions that they've made around the council table, and we've been in discussions since then, so hopefully we'll be able to announce something soon that will be of benefit to the community. Good.
Kris, I know you're flat out, but we do appreciate your time this morning. Anytime you can give us a buzz on a Monday morning, 10:30, the vacancy is there for you.
Thank you. Hope everyone's well.
Oh, we are. Thanks, Kris Faafoi. He's Labour Mana MP here on Beach FM.
106.3 Beach FM.